with you here, Pirate Radio Live on a Wednesday. Clip Rock, Shirley Rhodes, the Big Dog, Glenn Griffin, Chan Man, and Stephen Igoe. We are watching the Dwayne Harris ECU highlight tape from many moons
Stat
ago.
to consider, Stephen Igoe.
This is
Dwayne Harris had no punt return touchdowns.
Well, there hasn't been a punt return touchdown since Travis Williams in 2004, despite Dwayne Harris becoming... He was, close at least 5 times.
Every return he had was awesome.
He never gets tackled by the first guy. It's just... He's always slipping out of a tackle or, eluding somebody. He had the strongest balance of power and vision and elusiveness of any ECU ball carrier.
Chandler, you were watching this yesterday. You also pulled up his NFL highlights, and he had a ton of good returns.
He made a killing off of returns in the NFL.
Especially the one that was right there by the goal line where he picked it up and took off
the
running.
Denver Broncos.
Yep.
I remember it vividly.
Oh, that was against the Broncos?
Sorry, Igoe.
He also...
Monday Night Football, and at the end, John Gruden, man, he's like, that dude in here is good, man.
I love that kid. But I was...
hard news,
as it happened, I wasn't even mad just because it was...
Oh, he took one to the house against Washington, and I was mad. Where did you guys get... Or where did Dwayne go to college, man?
Oh, man, he went to East Carolina, man, in Greenville, North Carolina, man. Sub Dogs, man, they're the #1 bar in America, man. 3-time champ, man.
You sending the emails?
No, man, I don't do that no more, man.
Okay.
Strictly text, man.
Strictly text. All right, Dwayne continuing to elude people as we talk wide receivers today. Let's welcome in officially, though, our guest, man of the hour, Stephen Igoe.
Igoe, he's the one you know. Igoe, he's Big Boomer's bro. Igoe, he's good at MLB The Show. Igoe.
Where did Chandler go?
Igoe. I'm sitting right here, bro. Igoe. This song continues to grow. Igoe.
Can we just get back to the show?
Igoe.
Hi, this is Mike Oresco.
Igoe. Dave Doran lost to Coach Mo. Igoe. Ho, ho, ho! Igoe.
And we're back live.
Yeah, we're clearly running low on ideas.
Oh, dude, me and Clip were like the thinker, the statue, today, trying to figure out what we were going to say next.
Let's just go ho, ho, ho.
We've got some, but we want to make them funny, or at least kind of funny.
We've already got an idea for next week, so stay tuned. He takes a beating right here.
I forgot what we got for next week. All right, Shirley, let's keep the drops coming. Let's introduce today's topic on our position previews.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
I'm holding.
What's your favorite position?
Wide
receiver. That's cool with me. It's not my favorite, but I'll do it for you.
Talking wide receivers, and Stephen, for the first time this position preview season, I actually have a lot of questions and concerns. Even
I was actually hoping that we would come in and you would give your projected wide receiver depth chart and see how it stacks up.
All right, fine. You want it? You got it.
First off, I want you to name all the transfer receivers coming in.
Isaiah Winstead.
He is 1 of 3.
Jalen Johnson.
2 of 3.
And then there is, of course,
Barkevion Elijah Junior.
Who is the third?
Jarrett Garner from Duke.
I knew it.
I knew that. I was going to say that.
That was one of the best catches he made, by the way.
Dwayne one-handed over.
Still didn't get tackled by anybody. He just fell down. Like, the guy is just insane, man. I don't even want to talk about upcoming receivers. I just want to talk about Dwayne Harris.
Let's do it.
Fine.
How long is this highlight video, by the way?
It sounds like
like
you're
9 minutes.
taking over the show today. You're
And
a little role reversal here.
yeah.
I mean, you are coming off a fresh edition of the Hoist the Colors podcast, which
Right.
dropped earlier.
You damn
today.
right you are.
Have you listened to it yet?
Not yet.
We've been on the
It's
show.
fresh.
You were
It's fresh.
supposed to put it inside your earbuds so you could listen to both at the same
Nah,
time.
man, I'm professional.
He is a professional. Now, I want to start today with the upcoming guys, Igoe.
That's fine.
I'm going to have Isaiah Winstead. That just bothers me because Peyton Winstead.
Just call him Zay.
Zay
That
Winstead.
bothers me because of Zay.
Zaystead.
Can we get him a new name? So I'm going to have him. Okay, after I say a name, you tell me if you think they could indeed be a starter. Isaiah Winstead.
Indeed.
Okay. Josiah Hatfield.
Indeed.
How many am I naming?
I mean,
4 or 3?
are we going projected lineup or am I just saying a possible starter?
You said depth chart, so how many receiver positions are there?
I mean,
X, Y, Z.
3. Yeah. I mean,
I've got another one for an answer.
You want to tag team this?
Yeah.
All right, let me tag you in. All right.
Tajee Hudson.
No. I wish, but no.
I mean, potentially, but I don't
Oh.
think he'll start.
Oh.
I mean, see, here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. Tony Harris, Justin Hung.
Hey, go back to Lance Lawrence.
So I've heard that C.J. Johnson's been working in the slot some. So you could be looking at a receiving combination of Zay Winstead, C.J. Johnson, and Jarrett Garner or Jalen Johnson on the other side. Or you
So
could
what's
see
the Duke guy's name again?
Jarrett Garner.
Jarrett Garner. Gardner or Gardner?
Jarrett Garner.
Gardner?
Garner.
So no D.
Like Garner, North Carolina, the city.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jarrett with 2 R's and 1 T.
So, no, it's not.
I think it is. Jesus.
Well, first
It's
of
either
all,
1 R and 2 T's or 2 R's and 1 T. I'm pretty sure it's Jarrett 1 T.
Oh, I thought you meant in Gard.
No. Yeah. There's 2 R's.
Nerd.
The T is silent.
By the way, he and Winstead are not on the roster.
But they're here.
They're here.
Yeah, roster just hasn't been updated with all the incoming guys.
10-4.
10-4.
So CJ was going to be my wild card to put in the starting lineup. But hearing you say, so they like, you like Gardner too. Who likes Gardner? You or them?
Wait, are you saying Gardner or Garner? Garner.
Yeah.
Garner, everybody likes Garner.
Okay. Everybody likes
people
Gardner.
like him. He just had some injury issues there. I mean, he's 6'3", he can run. You know, here's the deal.
Stop saying that. Just tell us. You don't have to set it up.
All right, nobody knows. Like, I mean, at this point, it's wide open. Now, I strongly believe Isaiah Winstead will start somewhere.
Why did he leave? Just is he like moving up? Or
Yeah, so he started at Norfolk State, and then he went to Toledo, and now he's going to ECU.
Okay.
So he graduated, and he wanted to put himself in the best position possible to make the NFL. So.
Now, Clip asked me this question a while ago. He says, what else do you know besides that? What do you know about Isaiah Winstead? I could not answer that question. Can you?
He looks absolutely the part. He's 6'3", 215, and I saw him at the spring game, and I thought he was a defensive end recruit, and they were like, no, that's Isaiah Winstead. I'm like, okay, well, he's pretty big. He's motivated. He told me he worked out on his own when he came on his official visit, and, you know, that speaks highly, I think, of his motivation level because he really wants to make it to the next level.
He's trying to make it to the league.
Yeah, and you know, he's produced, like, you look at potential proven commodities.
Like an Aaron Jarman.
Like an Aaron Jarman.
Who had how many catches before he got here? Was it
No,
one?
It was never about catches. It was about his blocking.
Okay, all right.
He was
But
proven
anyway.
as a blocker.
But so this guy has actual numbers.
Yes, Isaiah Winstead as a proven commodity. His floor is a number 2 receiver. Like,
Wow.
he has had like 600 yards pretty much every season. If you average out over the, I think he led Toledo in 2020 with like 470 yards, but that was in like 4 games because of COVID. So, like, his yards per catch, he's a big play guy. He's produced every single year of his college career. So, like, he's a proven commodity if he's on the field. But the feeling is he's never been in a really good offense or a really good quarterback situation, so he thinks he can be a number 1 guy. ECU feels like he can be as well. Garner, a little bit less of a proven commodity. I mean, he's made plays, but he has never done it consistently, but he's got talent. Again, he had an injury, knee injury early in his career that kind of slowed him down. And then when you look at Jalen Johnson, I mean, Georgia, he actually played a good amount at Georgia. Played a lot on special teams, played a lot at receiver, but I mean, it's Georgia. Like, they're just stacked. And they had like 3 or 4 NFL receivers, and he was in the 2 deep. So, to me, all 3 of those guys have a chance to contribute. But, we talk about all the time with transfers, like having the chance and then actually coming in and proving you can do it and buying into the offense, getting the chemistry down are 2 different things.
So we hit on a lot of, you hit on a lot of newcomers there. Well
Yes.
done. A great job on this segment. How about, I like homegrown talent, Igoe. Let's talk about those guys. I'm going to ask a question about all these guys. One question to you. Will my guy, Andre Pegues, have a catch this year?
Yes, he will have a catch.
Dang. That's
what-
my only question I
What
can
makes
ask.
him your guy? What do you
Because
like
he's
about him?
tall.
Clip falls in love with these 6'3",
Like a Terrell Green?
200-pound receivers, which
Terrell Green was my guy.
technically speaking, like, all the transfers are that way too. So
Right, yeah.
Just
You
a tall
just said
receiver.
Winstead 6'3", right?
yep. And so, the thing I do like most about this receiving corps is they have the option to move guys in and out. Like, Josiah Hatfield could play in or out. Kerry King has played in or out. C.J. Johnson could play in or out. Like, so you can move Ryan Jones to slot. You can
Yeah.
move Shane Calhoun to slot. So you could split Ryan Jones outside. I mean, there's just so many different combinations. I don't know how it's going to look come September 3rd, and I think that's something they'll probably try and keep quiet, because if you're NC State and you have all these new receivers to prepare for, potential of C.J. Johnson, the tight ends, the backs, like, there are a lot of different things ECU can do personnel-wise in terms of how they actually line up versus, hey, they just have 2 tight ends on the field, or they have a tight end on the field, but where are they going to line up?
A couple other guys I want floors and ceilings for Tajee Hudson and the Macho Man himself, Tyler Savage. For the 2022 season.
I mean, floors, they're just backups like they were last year.
Okay, ceiling.
Ceiling, Tyler Savage is another guy who could play in or out. He actually spent the spring playing some slot, hybrid tight end role. I mean, he could develop into a kind of a 3rd down guy. I think be a steady option to move the chains. He's got good size. So I don't exactly know how they envision using him or how they want to use him this fall. So I would say the ceiling is higher for Tajee Hudson because of his athleticism and leaping ability, and he'll probably play outside. But I could see Savage kind of becoming a safety net underneath, bigger target.
All right, more catches in 2022, Kerry King or Macy O'Donnell?
I mean, that's a very good question, because Maceo is more of the steady, reliable. He's going to make the underneath. Tyler Snead plays. Kerry King's more the explosive guy. So I'm going to go Maceo.
We're talking about all these guys, like these last 4 guys I mentioned, though. Where are they, in your opinion, on the depth chart? Yeah, that's the unknown right now.
I mean, they could start, or they could be top backups.
Like, it could be a situation like 2 years ago with the running backs where Mike Houston was like, whoever has the best week in practice will start.
I mean, that's how you have to approach it, because who outside of C.J. Johnson, who is working his way back from a suspension, probably going to, I would imagine, open preseason camp not as a starter.
Right.
Who has the trust of Holton Ahlers and the coaching staff right now?
Right.
In that room. Like, if you're going to go into the game day on September 3rd, like, who's your number 1 guy? You don't know. In theory, yeah, it could be Winstead. It could be C.J. Johnson. But until the guy actually proves it in a game, until then, the only sample size we know is practice. So it really is going to come down to practice. Like, that's a lame answer, but that really, what else can you base it on?
People were excited about the Patterson from Marshall when he came in. Where is he at right now?
He's not going to play this year. He's academics. So
he's out.
So he's still on the team, but yeah, he can't play this year.
Okay. Well, that's
my understanding.
Where he'll be. How about young Cop, T. Cop Jr.? Is he, special teams? Is he getting on the field at receiver?
There's a couple walk-on receivers like him and Josh Murphy and another guy. Well, I guess Kerry King was a walk-on. He was placed on scholarship that I think could contribute. Like Josh Murphy to me was very impressive in the spring. But Cop, I think he's worked some in the slot again. Another guy who's kind of moved all over and knows the offense. But I could see him contribute on special teams and as a backup.
All right, and they cloned Tyler Snead and added a few inches and renamed him Brock Spalding.
Yeah.
He is what, a true freshman?
He is a true frosh.
So he probably, red shirts?
I would think so, but he was another guy that, to me, in the spring game, like some receivers, especially the inside guys, like, you either have it or you don't. Like, you can develop, sure, like, he needs to get stronger. But, like, they threw him the ball 5 times. He caught it. He looked fluid, making the catch, cutting upfield, making some guys miss. Like, he just looks like a natural slot receiver to me. And so, yeah, I mean, you can say, oh, well, he's not the fastest or the biggest kid. Maybe this guy has, player X has higher upside. But to me, if, like, he's ready and he knows the offense, I'm fine throwing him out there. If he can prove he can handle it, because I think he's going to catch the ball and he's going to – I think he's going to do his job.
Looking at the numbers from last year, you're losing Tyler Snead and Audio Matosho. That is 107 catches for over 1,300 yards and 7 touchdowns. So that's quite a bit right there. Your next leading receiver is your tight end, Ryan Jones, 37, 442, 5 touchdowns. We didn't talk about this last week with the running backs, but do we see an uptick, you think, in catches from Keaton Mitchell? Rajay had 24 last year. Mitchell had 22 for the Pirates. Is that, what do you think that number looks like this season?
This is another good question, because you start to look at this offense and you're like, in theory, yeah, we want to get them the ball more, but there's a lot of weapons. You got the tight ends, you got the running backs, you got all these receivers. So, like, how do you best divvy it up? Do you go into a game and you say, we want to get Keaton 3 catches? We want to get Rajay 3 catches. Like, I don't know if you go in thinking that or if it just happens naturally. But I do think, I thought last year Keaton, when he caught the ball, was extremely explosive. But he had some drops, too, so I feel like that's a part of his game he can continue to evolve in. Rajay, I think, had some really good catches. He had some, especially in the red zone, I think he made a few catches where he either got a touchdown or got big first downs. They weren't, like, explosive plays, but they were crucial plays. And so that's something I think they can continue to build on, as both those guys obviously are still growing as blockers too.
Also losing 19 returns from a year ago with Tyler Snead, 12 punt returns, 17 kick returns. We've talked running backs and receivers so far.
Is this the receiver preview or the special teams preview?
Wow.
But now we're going for receivers, running backs. We're going tight ends too. By the way, is tight ends included in the receivers preview?
Have we talked about tight ends?
We talked special teams and running backs, so might as well.
Tyler Snead.
You're going to ask who the return candidates are?
That's not totally what I was going to ask.
You're going to ask, is a receiver going to be a potential?
Now you see what I'm going to ask, because we lost the guy that was a receiver doing those things. Is a receiver or a running back, since we have talked about that, and we're not talking special teams, and we're damn sure not going to let you say a cornerback's name here.
Fleming.
No, we're not going to let you do that, because we're not there yet. We're not even close to there yet.
Fleming is going to be the punt returner probably.
Well, don't say that, though. Don't listen.
You're asking the question.
We're not talking special teams. Okay?
Answer my question. Will a running back or receiver take up some of those returns, be the punt returner or the kick returner this year for ECU?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I got for you, yes.
All right, we'll end it with that. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back.
We're talking receivers.
And only
We're talking wide receivers.
Sure, let's go ahead and open up the booty bag here, too.
Bump it. Bump it.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Hey.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Hey.
God, I really want to talk about Tegan Wilk. But we can't.
No.
We're not going to.
No.
Save it for July, early August. All right, Shirley, what are we giving away today?
How about lunch for two at Tiebreakers?
Lunch
Breaker.
for 2 at the Breaker? Okay.
Say less.
How do you spell okay? O-K-A-E. According to
O-K-I-E.
Steven, how'd you like Are You Smarter Than Wes?
Oh, I really enjoyed that, by the way. I couldn't stop laughing. Congrats on your big.
Yeah, man. I'm still living on cloud 9. I am living the dream.
I honestly thought you would roll, man. I was surprised it took overtime. Were you taking it easy on him?
Nah.
Ronnie said
It's not ratings, and I knew I had to go tit for tat with Wes.
Ronnie said he had to quit watching because he was watching it at work and was laughing so loud he had to stop and save it for later. All right, Shirley, what call are you looking for?
I'm going to go with caller 10.
Caller 10, 317-1250. We're back with more after this.
Pepper, oh no, they didn't! Papa John's just took their signature pepperoni and hand-stuffed it inside that garlic-kissed crust. Oh, now that's an epic pepperoni stuffed crust pizza like no mouth has ever seen!
Hey, Pirate fans, the Papa John's Epic Pepperoni Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza is only $13.99 and is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting pirates.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
Welcome to US Cellular. Yeah, hi. I want a new phone for free, but not just any phone. I want the newest, fastest, most storage holding 5G unlimited data using phone in here for free.
Sure, your choice.
Really?
Yep.
At US Cellular, we put you first. So choose any phone from any brand free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Summer is upon us, and I want to invite you to attend our CG23 Youth Camp here at East Carolina University. We will offer 3 sessions of camp. All camps will be held at Clark LeClaire Stadium, and campers will get baseball instruction from the ECU baseball staff and players. Campers will play games each day, and each camp ends with our famous Pirate Slip and Slide. Full day and half day sessions offered. For more information, visit CliffGodwinBaseballCamp.com. See you there, and go Pirates!
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
This is CJ Mayhew, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. To get the business services that are right for your business today, contact the team of experienced local bankers at First Bank. The team includes bankers you can trust like Ashley Capps, Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nesbitt. First Bank, together with their customers, they're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. First Bank, located on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. And congratulations to Tracy Allen of Greenville. Picked up lunch for two at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and is the best place to watch your favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town, along with sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's Clip.
All right, we're talking wide receivers with Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors, Clip Rock, the big dog, Glenn Griffin here, Shirley Rhodes, Chan Man. All right, Igoe, let's talk about the past. And my all-time favorite is Dwayne Harris, and it should be everybody's, but it's not, and that's okay, that's fine. Who's your all-time favorite ECU receiver?
It's the same. It's Dwayne Harris. I mean, we've talked about it before. Not only, I think both of our favorite football players is Dwayne Harris. Yep. As far as ECU, just
all
because
time, every position,
special teams, yep, receiver, quarterback, running, like he did everything, and he was. We were talking about with the highlights earlier. You know, there were blocking highlights where he was just leveling dudes. There were highlights of him breaking tackles. There were highlights of him running by guys. I mean, he was just a machine.
They didn't show the 2007 Virginia Tech game when Rob Cass was suspended. I believe there was a lot of plays where he ran out of the Wildcat.
He did some Wildcat.
Yeah, that was his first ever game, too.
Yeah, because that was the Brett Clay game.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Brett Clay started. Pick six to Macho Harris. Oh, yeah, there you go. All right, Chandler, favorite receiver, Dwayne
Harris.
And big dog.
Dwayne Harris.
Okay.
I feel like anybody that watched him play.
Let's talk about, I guess, most underrated.
All right, well, that's the next category.
Okay, all right.
Most underrated.
There's a lot.
God, I couldn't.
First person I think of, and I feel like he was just here for 1 year, Cam Worthy.
Okay.
Cam Worthy is a really good pick.
Cam Worthy and Lance Lewis are like in that category.
Like that Virginia Tech game in 2014, Cam Worthy went off.
He had a monster season. One season.
5
Was
catches.
that the only year he was in ECU uniform?
He was a walk-on JUCO. In his first year, he was more special teams. And then I think that year he had a 1,000-yard receiving season.
But I feel like every time Shane Carden threw the ball down the field to him, that there was a chance that he was going to catch that football.
He said, for most underrated, Cam Worthy beat Virginia Tech in Blacksburg by himself.
He did.
Let me look up those official numbers.
Like 5 catches for 230-something yards or something crazy.
All of them were like 40-plus yards down the field, it seemed like.
Well, this because they just played. They blitzed the house and played single coverage with a high safety, and finally it was Lincoln versus Bud Foster. They finally figured out how to beat them. Basically, just throw deep balls and one-on-one plays.
Yeah, and it was awesome. Let's see. Shane Carden ran into the end zone late. Cam 6 for 224.
Good gracious, no touchdowns.
6.
Yeah, they're all like 40-yard catches, like you said.
Yeah.
Dang, Bryce Williams had a touchdown though.
He did, and then he forgot to get on the field for the extra point.
That's right. Bryce Williams famously touchdown, and ECU had 10 men on the extra point against the best special teams in the country.
Which we did not know about until he told us about it and then made us watch the game.
That was a nice little nugget, yeah.
So Worthy had 19 catches for 295 yards in 2013, and then 55 for 1,016, averaging 19 yards per catch.
I would say very underrated.
Yeah.
To have a 1,000-yard season.
Andre Allison, to me, super underrated. Yeah, he was another JUCO kid, Skip Holt's era. He was like one of the first dynamic playmakers under the Holtz regime.
Big time. And kind of led the way to the winning ways of East Carolina football, bringing back the winning ways after the Thompson era.
A name that I saw today when I was making the wide receivers graphic, Davon Grayson.
Yeah, that's a good call. Very good call.
I mean, he was here. He made an immediate impact in 2013. I remember that Old Dominion game, the game that we talked about a couple of weeks ago with Taylor Heineke putting up, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Davon Grayson kind of burst onto the scene in that game.
He had 3 touchdowns, I want to say, his first 2 college games, if I'm not mistaken. And Zay Jones was the known, but we had Justin Hardy at that time, right?
Yes.
Hardy and Jones played together, right? So we knew Zay Jones because of his father, Robert. Davon kind of snuck in and played as a true freshman. He was a true freshman, right?
Right.
Yeah, in that
and had a couple TDs.
ODU game, I think he had 3 and Zay had 1. And that was the Taylor Heineke game.
Yeah. You sticking with us here?
Yeah.
Paying attention?
I'm getting text from a Mariners fan who's texting me about Julio Rodriguez hitting a bomb. So I was checking.
Why are y'all fighting everybody?
No, it's the Angels' fault, man. Don't get me started on that, because I would take at least the rest of the show to explain what happened.
We're not going to get sidetracked. Any other underrated guys? Glenn, Igoe.
Bodie, Andrew.
Yeah.
Good possession guy.
Yeah.
Jamar Bryant's a guy that was could have been good, but was not.
I wanted to put him underrated, but I think he was overrated when he came. Did he come from Georgia or something? He was recruited by Georgia. There was some SEC school involved where either he was going to go there. I don't know.
Yeah, he was Georgia military, and I think he had committed to Georgia
to the Bulldogs. Yeah. So I don't know if he's underrated, but maybe a little. I don't know.
I think he's forgotten about. He was better than people remember.
He's definitely forgotten about because I forgot about him until I saw this Dwayne.
What about a friend of the program, Philip Henry?
He was. I mean, for what he was, for as small as he was,
perfect walk-on
life.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't know if they win that Carolina game without him. He had some big plays late in the game, last drive.
Yeah.
So I love PH.
Where do we put? It was maybe too recently removed from them, but Blake Pearl and Snead, I feel like will be underrated as time goes on.
Have we talked about Lance Lewis?
Yes.
Yeah. Lance Lewis, to me, is
good question.
He's underrated.
Definitely underrated.
Yeah.
All right. Next category is play involving an ECU receiver. Here's a sneaky one. TJ Lee block punt.
Yeah, I was about to say it's the TJ Lee block punt.
But that's almost unfair.
We'll save that for the special teams preview.
Dwayne Harris had pretty much every Dwayne Harris play could be mentioned. Lance Lewis, Mossing, Stephon Gilmore in Charlotte.
I've got that on that graphic.
Andre Allison, season opener, 50-yard touchdown from James Pinckney, diving into the end zone.
Andre Allison mossing the dude for NC State, running into the end zone and giving the Wolfpack.
That's the one.
To the NC State fans.
Actually, I don't think he dove in the Duke game. He did the flip in the West Virginia game and got flagged.
Yeah.
What's the cat that pulled out the...
Larry Shannon pulling out the towel.
Let's get it. Yes.
Legendary moment. Good stuff.
Justin Hardy had some nasty catches against UConn in the corner of the end zone. One-handed catches.
Yeah, anytime Justin went one-handed, it was a special moment. So, good stuff there.
I feel like there was a classic Justin Hardy catch that...
Matt Redmond wants us to talk about Keith Stokes.
Yeah, I mean, that's another JUCO guy, right? Wasn't he JUCO?
I don't recall.
I think he was, but he was another guy that was just an absolute beast on special teams and in the slot.
Catching runs and
CFL
punt returns.
Hero.
So a lot of Stokes love from Matt on Facebook Live. All right, and finally, receiver performances against East Carolina. Let me run off some of these. Chris Penn, his name came up with the Gus Farrat thing.
Everybody remembers that.
Didn't Southern Miss have like an unreal guy that was like pro level?
I remember Jamie Collins on their defense. He was just
he was awesome. Collins says Alshon Jeffrey with South Carolina.
Yeah.
Southern Miss, Alex said DeAndre Brown, Southern Miss. But he does have a question mark on
he
it.
was the 5-star kid.
Trav says Jacoby Myers, 13 catches, 163 yards against ECU.
There was a dude for Tulane who had 3 catches. They've been Mooney in that 2018 game.
Ryan Grant went to Tulane.
Russell on Twitter, I saw him mention James Cleveland with Houston in that championship game in Greenville. This was his stats. If I could pull it up. 19 receptions, 241 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
That shouldn't even count.
And they lost.
That's not even fair. Oh, man, love this name, Robert. Isaac Bruce from Memphis said he saw him play several times. Awesome wide receiver. Yes, he was. I remember...
I didn't know Isaac Bruce played for Memphis.
I don't remember the numbers they put up. Mike could Google it up, but I remember UCF coming to town to play East Carolina, and Mike Walker was their big-time receiver who turned into Mike Sims Walker, and Brandon Marshall was their number 2. I don't know the games they had that day, but I remember in the pregame, everybody was focused on Mike Walker and Brandon Marshall. He wasn't an afterthought, but he was not the number 1, and I found that interesting.
I remember that, too, because I remember, I think ECU won the game. Maybe that was the Travis Simmons pick game where he had a long return, but either way, Israel was their quarterback, UCF. But I just remember Brandon Marshall, I think, scored late in the game, and thinking, that dude looks like a beast.
This doesn't count, but Kenny says Shane Carden catching the bowl game. He was a quarterback, but my underrated receiver in ECU football history, Cam Worthy, threw that football.
Oh, wow. A walk-off?
Well, we are discussing
who is the best quarterback that was...
Performances, right?
Who's the best wide receiver that threw passes? Who was the best quarterback of the wide
Dwayne
receivers?
Harris.
It's Dwayne.
Yeah.
Hardy
threw a couple good
ones. He was pretty good. How about this, Igo?
Snead was good.
Yeah, Snead was a beast.
So I got the numbers from ECU.
I mean, that gun to Hatfield last year.
Oh, my God.
was
South Carolina game?
Dime.
Nasty.
Let's wrap it up here. A box score from ECU and UCF 2005.
Let's do it.
Stephen Moffitt was the quarterback for UCF.
Moffitt.
10 for 25. Had 10 completions. Mike Walker, 7 for 110, 2 touchdowns. Brandon Marshall, 3 for 71. That was all their catches for the whole game. They did have Kevin Smith run for 91 yards and some other guy run for 113 yards. Hey, Skip, what's going on with the defense? James Pinckney, 270, 3 interceptions. Oh, dear. The Pirates were led on the ground that day by Brendan Fructius. 10 carries, 107 yards, 2 scores. Dominic Lindsay had 73 yards. Chris Johnson, 56 yards. Zach Baker, 1 carry, 44 yards. Little fake punt action. Zach Baker, the playmaker. Bobby Good, 1 carry, negative 10 yards.
So was that the Casey Ross pick 6 game? Do you have a scoring summary?
ECU lost this game 30 to 20.
So it was a game. Ross, I think they won the game. He had a pick 6.
But man, love these names. Jarek Hewitt had a catch. East Carolina cornerback. That's weird.
He started, I think, as a receiver, and then moved to corner.
Andre Allison, 6 for 90. Philip Henry, 6 for 79. Underrated, folks. Bobby Good, Juwan Crowell, Brian Howard, Sean Levesque, tight end.
Yeah.
Sean Harmon, he was an offensive lineman, wasn't he?
I think he started as a tight end.
Oh, okay. 1 catch, 8 yards. Love looking at some old names here. So Robert Lee, who had the kicking duties, and Ryan Daughtery, the great punter, had the punting duties that day.
I feel like we've gone this entire segment without talking really about Justin Hardy and Zay Jones.
Yeah.
I just saw a play from our friend Chad Moore from the Carolina game, the black uniforms in Chapel Hill game.
Hardy block?
Where the Hardy block.
Laid his ass
laid him out, brother. We talk a lot about Dwayne's blocking.
Yeah,
but,
Justin was a beast.
Yeah, through the wide receiver U era, all those guys could do all phases of the game.
You're very right, Igo, but like they kind of classed themselves out of this discussion. And Dwayne did too, but he's far removed now, so we have to remind new people about Dwayne. But like 10 years from now, we'll talk more about Hardy and Zay. They were just
just the fact that they back-to-back broke the all-time receptions record.
And we didn't even mention them.
Like, oh yeah, they're just the top 2 receiving leaders in FBS history.
I think it's because it's with Zay than Justin is the lack of winning.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now Justin won. He won quite a bit.
Yeah, like I said, it's more with Zay. It was at
just
the end
his
of
last
Justin's
year
career.
was stained just by the Scotty Moe.
Yeah,
because
grossness.
Did Zay have? And I know you need to leave. We can hit the music, Shirley.
All good.
What were Zay's memorable plays? Memorable games, South Carolina.
Yeah, games where he had tons of catches.
He had an awesome touchdown against UNC in the 70-point, like diving.
He had an awesome touchdown catch in the rain against Virginia Tech in 2015.
Yeah, diving one-handed catch.
James Summers game.
So we're 14-15 right now. But that last season was basically the Zay Jones.
It was just let's throw the ball to Zay and get him the record show.
Yeah, pretty much. And he was kind of hurt by what you said, Glenn, just a lack of winning there.
Because they played Navy in the game, he broke the record, and he broke it in the first quarter, and then I think it was like 14-7, and then Navy ended up winning 66-31 or something.
Yeah. Kenny's favorite catch from a Pirate, Troy D's catch at the Super Regional.
And his comment was loved by the Pirate Radio Facebook account, so I'm assuming that's Troy behind that Facebook account.
Troy, come on, man.
All right. Igo, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No show next week.
So don't show up here.
I'll be in San Diego, so.
Oh, what are you doing there? Going to the zoo?
We will be going to the zoo.
Padres game?
Celebrating an anniversary with the wife, and we're going to Mariners Padres July 4th.
Awesome.
That's nice.
Happy 4th of July.
Thanks.
A little July 4th day baseball?
Day baseball, 3:40 local time in San Diego.
To make up for not being here next week, 2 weeks from today, Igo, tight ends and O-line. Double down. We got a lot to pick ready.
You know what that means? You got to add 2 more songs to my intro, or 2 more lines.
2 more lines to the Igo intro. Tight ends and O-line. We are doing it big when we return in July.
By the end, the whole entire segment is going to be the song.
That's what we're hoping for.
I don't have to say a single word.
We're going to be coming off like a terrible loss in football, and we're going to have that song playing for like 8 minutes. And people are going to be so mad, and it's going to be fun.
Tight ends and offensive line, 2 of the most improved position groups on the team.
Hey,
Chandler, another walk-off.
Chandler's had multiple walk-offs in one segment, and yet he still was sitting in his chair.
How long do you think we can talk here with the music playing and Igo won't get up and leave? I'm shocked
going till 6 o'clock.
I'm shocked he hasn't got up yet.
This is longer than my intro song.
All right, we're back after this.